Hey, it's Robert, and this is soloparent.tv. Today I want to talk about a very simple principle that I'm just kind of learning myself. But I think it's one of the most critical things that we can discipline ourselves to do in raising our kids, especially as our kids get older. I have a teenager now, and being a teenager brings a whole new set of dynamics to our family. So I find myself doing a lot of correcting and a lot of like, don't do this, be careful of this. If you do this, you're gonna get a restriction. If you do that, and I feel like I'm enforcing all the time. And so this is kind of what I've come across. You know that movie, the Love Dare, where or it's Fireproof, where they talk about the Love Dare, where for 40 days do some act of kindness or whatever. Well, I'm gonna adapt that. And I'm gonna say, as a single parent, I guess this would work for any parent, but try doing this. Every single day, find one thing that you can speak encouragement into your kid's life. This, if you have a teenager, you're going to know how difficult this can be. Not because they don't deserve encouragement, but it feels like you're constantly untangling things or trying to wrangle things in or something. So I'm saying, instead of just living our life and being reactive to all the changes that are happening in our kids' lives, it doesn't just have to be a teenager, it can be just a kid that's getting older and older. Make a point every day to find at least one thing that you can encourage them about. Now, there's a couple things that you need to make sure that you do. First of all, don't make this compliment cheesy. I mean, don't make this like, you just fill the world with so much happiness and that kind of thing. I mean, that might be true, but just be careful that it doesn't come off too cheesy. The second thing is, make sure it's authentic. Make sure it's something that you've actually thought through. And in saying that, I'm meaning something like, if they're good at, a friend told me last night that her son is good at throwing basketballs. So if it's basketball, say, you know what, son, I've been noticing you're really good at basketball. Or it could be your daughter and say, you know what, I love, your hair looks beautiful, or that dress looks great on you, you're doing really good in school, or I'm really proud of the way you've handled X, Y, and Z. Now, it may take a little uncovering, because the older our kids get, the more frustrated we get in being a parenting, because it's a whole new world. The whole thing has changed, it seems. But I'm telling you, discipline yourself to find at least one thing a day, and don't make it repetitive. And here's the other thing that's kind of an overarching important step in our approach here. Don't make it reactive to something that's going on. In other words, if they've just done something really cool, compliment them on that. That's cool. But make sure that this compliment that I'm talking about, this word of encouragement that I'm talking about, comes completely unsolicited. Like, it happens later in the day. It happens outside of the situation. If they do something great, encourage them at the time, but then store that away and think, you know what, I'm going to bring that up later. And so it could look like later that night at dinner, after they, without being told, cleaned the kitchen or took in the trash or whatever it is, say, you know what, I've been thinking, I really appreciate the fact that you did that today. That really meant a lot. It shows some responsibility. The point is making sure that you're proactive rather than reactive. And it's important to let our kids know that we're thinking about them throughout the day and that we're proud of them. So that's my thought for today. To recap, it is, find one thing, at least one thing a day that you can encourage your kid, that you can speak life and speak truth and speak just encouragement into their life. Because it seems like the older they get, the more we become the enforcer, or you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's my thought for today. I hope you're doing great, and thanks for tuning in. Remember, you're not alone.